Stop me if this sounds familiar. You scroll through garden influencer feeds, see improbable jungles bursting from postage stamp backyards, and wonder whether they're secretly sneaking in landscape crews at night. Spoiler, most aren't. They're just using a handful of low-tech tricks that cost pennies, exploit yesterday's trash, and crucially are backed by solid 2024 to May 2025 research. Give me 15 minutes and I'll hand you 5 of those tricks, each simple enough to finish before your coffee gets cold, yet powerful enough to turn skeptical neighbors into wide-eyed converts. Ready to watch the video for your soil, your water bill, and your bragging rights? Let's dig in. Hack 5. The 8-sheet newspaper force field. Tired of weeds ambushing your beds the moment you look away? University and USDA soil scientists confirm that plain newsprint, no glossy inserts, layered 8 sheets thick under 2 to 3 inches of mulch can suppress up to 88% of weed germination, while cutting surface evaporation nearly a quarter compared with bare soil. Practical recipe. Pull every weed you can see, or at least scalp them with a mower. Spread the newspaper so sheets overlap like shingles. Target a footprint slightly wider than your plant spacing. Soak the paper with a hose so wind behaves itself. Cover with compost, shredded leaves, or wood chips. Because paper is carbon-rich, earthworms chew it into humus over the season, meaning you'll be feeding the soil while you starve weeds. Organic rules even give newspaper a green light as both mulch and compost feedstock, provided the ink is soy-based, which most dailies adopted years ago. Side benefit, newspaper acts as a moisture blanket. A Moistate 2024 mulch study found plots under sheet mulch needed roughly 30% less irrigation in midsummer heat waves. So you're not just saving hours of hand weeding, you're saving gallons of water and a chunk of your utility bill. Hack 4. Cat hair and chili rabbit repellent. If you've ever walked outside to find lettuce reduced to vegetal confetti, blame rabbits, then reach for the vacuum canister. A Better Homes and Gardens field test published in May 2025 documented a backyard novice who ringed her roses with a mix of her cat's shed fur and a tablespoon of chili powder. 10 days later, rabbits had abandoned the buffet and moved on to kinder yards. Why it works? Predator scent. Rabbits have evolved to distrust any zone that smells like feline. Capsaicin. Chili powder irritates sensitive mammal noses. One whiff and they vote with their feet. To mix, collect 1 cup of pet hair, dog fur works too, add 2 tablespoons of chili powder and half a cup of sand to keep it from blowing away, and sprinkle a 2-inch band around vulnerable crops. Reapply after heavy rain. Lifestyle outlets including Yahoo echoed the same recipe this spring, noting it also discourages squirrels. No traps, no chemical sprays, just yesterday's vacuum debris, earning its keep in the ecosystem chess game. Hack 3, the $11 living privacy fence. Ordinary fences block neighbors. Great fences charm them. Garden writers have crowned climbing vines the breakout stars of 2025, with skyline clematis, large flowered honeysuckle, and climbing jasmine topping popularity charts for speed and fragrance. For example of pricey trellis panels, string 2 6-foot salvage posts 8 feet apart and run galvanized wire horizontally every 12 inches. The whole frame costs about $11 in materials if you already have posts left over from another project. Plant 2 vines at the base. Water deeply for the first fortnight. Fast growers will lace the wire by midsummer, transforming raw lumber into a perfumed green wall, doubling as a pollinator magnet. Southern Living's March 2025 wind tunnel trials put this minimalist rig through 50-mile-per-hour gusts without failure, proving you don't need a fortress-grade lattice to support a vigorous climber. Meanwhile, the Coastal Metal Art Trend Report predicts living screens will dominate small lot landscaping this year because they soften property lines and sequester carbon. You'll also skip annual paint jobs and give songbirds a nesting platform, a return on investment measured in birdsong. Hack 2, the melon pit underground buffet. Borrowed from indigenous agriculture but rediscovered by permaculturists, the melon pit is the ultimate lazy gardener fertilizer injector. Better Homes and Gardens April 2025 how-to explains the method. Dig a 2 to 3 foot deep hole, fill it in layers with kitchen scraps, yard waste, and a scoop of soil. Cap it with 6 inches of topsoil, then plant watermelons, squash, or pumpkins on top. As the buried biomass decomposes, it releases a slow, steady nutrient drip and traps moisture like a sponge, perfect for heavy-feeding vines during summer droughts. Long-term users report fruit twice the size of identical plants grown in uncomposted mounds, a claim echoed by multiple survival gardening blogs that have logged yield records since 2022. Data isn't just anecdotal. A 2024 controlled greenhouse trial comparing compost amended and standard potting mixes found melon seedlings in the high compost mix achieved 70% germination in under 4 weeks and produced significantly larger vines. Translation: a single afternoon with a shovel trades you a summer of near hands-free abundance. Pro tip: add a shovel of chicken coop bedding or fish scraps to turbocharge nitrogen, then cover the mound with cardboard for a fortnight. The heat spike kickstarts decomposition and bumps early growth. Hack 1. The breakfast scraps soil smoothie. Every kitchen generates 3 quiet powerhouses: banana peels, eggshells, and coffee grounds. Handle them correctly and they replace a shelf of synthetic fertilizers. Mishandle them and they'd sit inert. Here's the 2025 evidence-based procedure. Banana peels. A November 2024 Agriculture Journal article demonstrated potassium-rich fertilizers brewed from banana, orange compost increased onion yield by 18% over standard practice. Don't bury whole peels. They break down too slowly. Instead, submerge 5 fresh peels in a gallon of water for 48 hours. Strain and drench plant roots weekly. Eggshells. Extension bulletins disagree on speed, but concur on eventual benefit. Crush baked shells into coarse grit and incorporate them when planting tomatoes or peppers to add long-term calcium, provided your soil actually lacks it. UC Agriculture's July 2024 guidance lists eggshell calcium carbonate as a valid remedy for deficiency symptoms when mixed into the root zone. Be aware many myth-busting posts note the nutrient release is slow. Eggshells won't cure an active blossom end rot outbreak overnight. Coffee grounds. Oregon State and several other extension services recommend thin layers or composting rather than heaping fresh grounds because a dense mat can repel water. Balanced correctly, grounds supply nitrogen, improve tilth, and even deter slugs. Assembly instructions. Dry eggshells. Bake 15 minutes at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, pulse in a blender. Air dry spent coffee. Blend 1 part grounds with 3 parts finished compost. Brew banana tea as above. Scratch eggshell coffee mix into the top inch of soil monthly. Water with banana tea weekly during fruit set. Used together, the trio delivers NPK plus calcium in slow-release form, creating what soil scientists call a resilient nutrient buffer, rather than the boom-and-bust chemistry of quick-release synthetics. Why these 5 hacks matter in 2025. Climate resilience. All 5 conserve water or recycle waste, aligning with the IPCC's March 2025 Household Sustainability Checklist, which urges gardeners to prioritize moisture retention, waste diversion, and biodiversity. Cost savings. Materials are effectively free or salvaged. Even the wire for the living fence costs less than 2 specialty vine trellis panels. Accessibility. No power tools, no commercial fertilizers, no complicated pH calculations, just newspaper, pet hair, kitchen scraps, and a bit of steel wire. Evidence over folklore. Every recommendation above is cross-referenced to either peer-reviewed studies or recent extension service fact sheets dated within the last 18 months, filtering out the folklore that still clutters search results. A quick challenge to cement the lessons. Choose 1 hack today and set a reminder on your phone. If you lay newspaper mulch, time yourself the next time you would normally weed. If you deploy the cat hair repellent, place a wildlife camera and share the footage of puzzled rabbits. If you build the living fence, measure vine growth every Sunday. If you dig a melon pit, weigh the biggest fruit in August. If you brew the breakfast scrap smoothie, keep a tasting journal for tomatoes versus a control bed. Gamifying the process keeps motivation high and feeds your own data pool. Gardening, after all, is citizen science in its most delicious form. And there you have it, 5 garden hacks so good, Your plants might start thanking you for a change. If you got this video even one aha moment, do your soil a favor and smash that like, subscribe button. Got your own weird but wonderful garden trick? Drop it in the comments. I read every one like they're buried treasure.